Yamhill County. You are tuned right here to KLYC. This is To the Root of It, your weekly Yamhill County gardening show. I am Kyle Hunter. Good morning, Ray.
Good morning, Kyle. I'm Ray Van Blaricum, and we are volunteers with the Oregon State Extension Service over on Lafayette Avenue. We are master gardeners.
I am.
Yeah, we both recertified this year.
That's right. And it is it's been a pleasant week. It looks like it's going to be even more pleasant. We'll get into the weather in a little bit. What else are we talking about today? We've got the Spring into Gardening Master Gardener Symposium that's coming up. We'll jump into that.
And we'll talk about that. And my favorite time of the year, and I know we say every day, every show, keep your tools sharp. Well, lo and behold, I've got my tools sharp.
It's about that time, isn't it?
It's that time of the year.
And we are going to jump into to pruning a little bit later on. Yeah. Also, we've got the Extension Services monthly calendar for February. Tells you what you need to be doing specifically to our area. But let's start with the weather. Weather thoughts?
I'm really happy that we're going to dodge. I think we're going to dodge the biggest share of this new Arctic blast. It'll just kind of slither by, and a little bit of cold air will come down the Columbia Gorge, and we'll get some really cold nights, like 5 freezing nights in a row or something.
Right. You sent me the weather update in the email. And that was pretty interesting because it was telling about the next 10 days, and it was speaking exactly to that. We're about to have the coldest spell that we've had since December.
Yep.
And that was pretty cold.
Well, it's still winter.
It is definitely still winter. We keep forgetting about that sometimes. I was looking at the weather forecast, and they got the nice little icon pictures of, and later this week it's all clear, sunny. And I'm like, all right, it's going to be clear and sunny. And then I look at the temperature, 30 degrees.
Well, you mean at night?
No.
In the afternoon?
Yeah.
Oh, heck.
Yeah. So as incredible as those clear days are going to be, it's going to be freezing.
Yeah, my little four-legged weather front's going to be wearing her fuzzy jammies in to take a hike around the block. Or she won't go out of the garage.
Well, the freeze is actually, it's disrupting my ability to take a shower at the present time. For some reason, this morning, I in the middle of my shower, it just started spitting air out at me in a bitter anger and fear.
Oh, that's evil.
And I'm trying to get the shampoo out of my hair, and it's just becoming impossible because all it's doing is
whole new dimension of blow dry.
Right, exactly. So the freezing temperatures are wreaking havoc on my piping system, and so I'm going to have to deal with that real soon.
After the last freeze, I thought we dodged the bullet just completely, and I heard this sound, the sound that is something wrong.
Yeah.
That hissing sound. And I thought, well, maybe it's just a heater fan or something like that. And it kept going. Then I looked out on the deck, and I've got a geyser.
Oh, yeah.
It's like going, right out across the deck. So now, I had to shut the water off and call someone that's more qualified than I am, that's for sure. Call the magic fixer person.
Yeah, and there was, my wife came in as I'm trying to get the shampoo out of my hair, and she says, the hot water heater's making an awful sound. And as this, spraying in my eyes. Do you think so, dear? Kind of dealing with my own problems right now. I'm pretty sure the two are related, right?
Yeah. I'm getting slipperier by the minute here.
Right, exactly.
Not good. I'm sorry.
Yep. So freezing temperatures wreaking havoc, and they're we're in for an even bigger freeze coming up. So your favorite theme, mulch. If you mulched,
if you mulched last fall, you're fine. Don't worry about it.
Yep.
Everything will come back when it's due in spring. Mm-hmm. That's the beauty of mulch. It's one of those one thing. You do it once and you're good for like a whole bunch of months.
Right.
But our friends over at Recology, they got plenty of mulch.
Right, they've got plenty of mulch over there. And then, are there any plants that we need to be protecting? With throwing a cloth over them.
If you didn't protect them in December, they're already dead.
Yeah.
Or they're dead down as far. That doesn't mean they're dead.
Right.
It just means the stems are dead, and that comes up to this whole pruning thing again.
Right.
But No, it's if you haven't.
Like my rhododendron, I don't need to
don't
drop
worry
any
about it.
cloth over them or anything like that.
Don't worry about rhododendrons or azaleas. They're all perennial evergreens. They're
My
they're
cypress,
used to it.
my
They're fine.
All right.
Things of more floral nature, like your penstemons and your perennial flowers, your daisies, your things that you cut down. Remember when we were talking about you cut them down to just short and then cover them up with mulch.
Right.
If you did all that, don't worry about it.
You should be fine.
Yeah, it's taken care of.
But I am a lax gardener, and I put everything off until now. We can jump into the pruning right now because it does kind of go along with this frost, because you are very excited about pruning, and but if we have this big cold spell, is it really as we do get into the pruning, is it a good time to prune, or should we wait until after this cold spell?
I'd wait until it warms up a little bit to see, give it a couple of weeks. Now, the things that were frost-tinged, and I say frost-tinged, in December, those will already be showing signs of what can be pruned off. The stems will be real brittle.
Yes.
There will be little cracks in the skin. Not all of these things, of course, but some will have various signs of the frost damage that we had in December.
And I'm glad that we're talking about this, because actually this week that's what I did. Is I went out into my garden, and I've got about 20 grapevines that are in there, and I just whacked. Just kept going at them and trimmed them all down. And I'm going to school for this, so I know what a vine is supposed to look like after it's been pruned properly. But these are still young vines, so they don't exactly have the proper growth for training. So all I'm doing is training them. And as I'm whacking them off, I think of the ones that I've seen in schools, that I've seen in the vineyards, and mine don't look anything like these things. However, I've shed about 80% of the growth that they gained over the last year, and that's what you're supposed to do. I just hope that after next year, I'll get the proper vine usage out of them. But yeah, this week it was whacking, and yesterday I started on my blackberries. Not real blackberries, but they're black raspberries.
Yeah.
Because you have raspberries that are blackberries. But I was attacking those, and you can actually see the leaves and the stemmy parts that are just brown right now, and they just clump right off. It still does seem like they have they do have leaf growth in them, and but it is something that I have to finish the job today. But pruning is what I've been doing this week.
Well, if you look at your plant and you take and you whack it off, and you peel a little bit of the cambium back or a little bit of the bark back, if you see white, green, yellow stem, that's a good stem.
Right.
Even though the top part is frozen off, that's fine. Don't worry about it, because that stem is where your new buds are, and everything will come back from that. And with your grapevines, if you go ahead and hack them down, then all of the energy goes into the root ball. Yeah. And it will come back. You just got to have a little faith in nature. Right. That's why it's okay to, you can't hardly do permanent damage by pruning. I mean, you can slow something down for a long, long time. I once pruned, this is before I took the Master Gardener course. I pruned the wife's hydrangea. Mm-hmm. And so I thought, look, all these dead limbs, I'll just let it start over. So I cut her right down to the crown. Nice. The whole thing. Yes. It was 2 years before we had another blossom.
But it did come back.
It did come back. Right. Yeah.
No, and the my rule of thumb is that when you're pruning trees and the like that, as long as you're pruning to what you think it looks right, you can't really hurt it. You might not be doing the optimum pruning, you might not be cutting in the right place, but if you're pruning it and it looks good to your eyes, you're probably okay with it. You're not killing it by any means.
I saw one interesting study when I was researching this, that if you're a novice, if you're a rookie, or this is, you haven't really got into learning what to do with each individual plant, a safe rule of thumb would be to take no more than a third of the volume of the plant out.
Ah, yes.
And leave 2/3, and then take anything that looks dead, like all the dead leaves off the crown, scoop the mulch back over. That removes the slug nesting area.
Right.
Yeah, I hate slugs. Ooh, I want them all dead. Soon. But that will actually give the plant plenty of airflow.
Right.
And will help prevent powdery mildew, will help prevent rust, will help prevent the various other leaf issues that come with the moisture that we know is coming,
right.
a little bit, and the warm weather that we pray is coming.
Right.
Please, dear God, let us sunshine this afternoon.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. That actually promotes the growth of the plant. The airflow, the plant needs air exchange. It needs to ventilate.
Yeah, one of the things that I was noticing with the raspberries and the leaf growth that is on there is I'm getting the black spots, and then even on the stems, I've got the black spots that are on there also. So it's a form of fungus.
Right.
And I can't think of, and I can't. No, of course I did not spray anything. That's why I'm pruning right now, so that I know.
I taught you nothing.
Nothing, right?
Nothing.
Not a thing.
Not a thing.
No, exactly. And I know all of these things, which is really great, because when I see that I've created a problem, I know why the problem exists. and so I'm like, oh yeah, exactly. So I can see the process all the way through. But spraying is something I'm definitely going to have to do after I whack all of these off.
Oh yeah.
But the raspberries, it's the first time that I've ever not topped them, but what is it called when you curve them over? You turn them under, so you take the top part that's been growing up, and then you stick that in the ground, and so that's how you
reroot.
I don't know, but that's how you propagate the raspberries.
Yeah.
Is you just take the end of the vine and then you stick that part in the ground. You do it with strawberries too.
Right.
And then all of a sudden it roots from right there, and you clip it, and that's where you've got a new, bush.
Strawberries are really cool because they make their little runner out, and wherever the runner touches the ground, it makes a new little strawberry plant.
Right.
And then when that gets big enough, you can take that one and actually put it back in the row if you want to, or you could start a new bed with it.
Right.
Or you could give it away.
Which is another thing that I have to do, because the only untamed area of my garden is the strawberry patch, and it is going to involve me digging up, probably about a 10 by 10 square of strawberries, so that I can put them into my appropriated raised bed area for them. But it's the thing that I've been putting off the longest in my garden, is the area that I need to deal with the most right now. But the raspberries, I don't plant blackberries because they just seem to grow wildly around my area anyway.
Yeah.
But what I did jump into was some tayberries and the Marion berries. And those have, I planted them last year. I got them from the plant sale, and they produced a little bit of fruit, but not so much. But they really have taken off during this dormant season. But they've grown so much. They're going everywhere. And I think next week we should probably actually do a show specifically about blackberries and raspberries, because it seems like this is the time that they're taking off, and to take care of them.
Well, that's one of the really cool topics in the symposium in March.
Well, there we go.
That's a nice segue. How about that?
Well, why don't we get into that after we take a real quick break? Because I actually forgot to push the automate button, but Dave's got my back, so I can push the automate button.
If you have any questions about pruning, trimming, grooming, however you want to put it, whacking away, give us a call at 503-435-1260, and we'll do our best to come up with some kind of answer.
Yeah, and you can get us streaming live at KLYC.us. This is To the Root of It, right here on 1260 AM.
AM 1260 KLYC, and we want to thank Recology Northwest Greenlands for helping bring To the Root of It back to you here on AM 1260 KLYC. And with us right now is site lead Nick Olheiser. In fact, we're standing in the yard at Recology Northwest Greenlands. Nick, thank you for sponsoring the show.
Thank you, and it's great to be here today.
Let's talk about the redistribution, reallocation in the company. There's been a little bit of changing of names and so on and so forth. Explain what's going on.
Yeah, we were actually bought out a few years ago by a company named Recology out of San Francisco. Essentially what's going on out here, there's just been a restructuring within the company. We are now more part of an organics division, which is allowing us to kind of centralize and hone in on the composting part of it, the phase that we want to be in. It kind of allows us to just share and reincorporate our knowledge within that and really build off of that.
So if you're driving by WOW over here by the fairgrounds, by the Shell gas station, and you're looking for compost, and they're looking to supply compost needs for large and small producers. So even if you're the small home gardener and you just want a bucket or two, you can come down and get that.
Yes, absolutely. We're located over here on Orchard Avenue. You pull in, we have anything from rock to bark dust to soil blends to just straight compost.
Tell me what's unique in what you offer here to the public.
What really sets us apart is the in-depth retail yard that we have. We have multiple products that a lot of other places aren't able to provide. One of our more popular features is the green waste pile. You can bring in any kind of yard debris, grass trimmings, branches, anything like that, and recycle it here. And then from there it's reincorporated into the process, and in a couple months it comes out as compost.
What are your hours, and when can people come by and pick up some compost?
Our hours are Monday through Friday, 8 to 4, Saturday, 9 to 4. Anytime in those hours, come on by. We got a friendly staff, always on hand, ready to help out and answer any questions in any way they can and get you any kind of needs you have.
What are your price ranges?
Price ranges for compost, pretty much all of our products, anywhere from $20 to $30 a yard. We do half-yard increments. Soil blends, same thing. We also have custom blend services that we do. There's something that on site that you don't see or that you can't find that you want. We're able to blend it up for you right there and get you exactly what you need.
Do you have Facebook, a website, and a phone number?
We don't have a Facebook currently right now. We are working on that. Our website is Recology, or it's OregonCompost.com. Sorry, just OregonCompost.com. And phone number is going to be 503-434-1671.
Recology Northwest Greenlands. We're talking here to Nick Olheiser, and they're bringing To the Root of It here on AM 1260 KLYC.
Does your auto need a makeover? The Yam Van received a makeover like none I would ever believe was possible at Extreme Auto Spa here in McMinnville. Well, to just name a few things Extreme Auto Spa did to Yamhill County's favorite Yam Van, the old orange paint now shines and sparkles like new. The windows were tinted and also received new gaskets. When your vehicle is at Extreme Auto Spa, it can receive more than the interior cleaned and shampooed, the exterior washed and waxed. Adam and his crew at Extreme Auto Spa provides services for window tinting for your auto, home, and business, spray and bed liners, 3M paint protection film, Northwest sealant protection, water leak detection and repair, as well as foul, odor, and rodent removal. P.U. and yuck. Extreme Auto Spa is ready to help you spiff and shine your vehicle. Extreme Auto Spa is located at 2940 Northeast Lafayette in McMinnville, and the telephone number is 503-883-0995. Will you do me a favor? Tell them KLYC sent you.
Why get in shape? Well, let's talk to some of the folks at Snap Fitness in McMinnville on why they stay in shape and how Snap Fitness helps.
Nick Newcomb. I like that it's open 24 hours. I like that no matter if I'm on vacation or if I move homes, it's in all the cities and I can use it across the states. It's nice because it's always clean. There's always friendly people there, staff that are willing to help.
Snap Fitness, 24/7 access, modern equipment, and staff to help you get and stay in shape. Right now, when you mention you heard this ad on KLYC, you get a choice of two offers. No enrollment fee and 10% off every month for new members, or pay for 3 months and get the 4th month free with the purchase of a $25 access card. It's a great time to sign up if you're transferring from another gym. Hey, try a 7-day trial pass to see if it's a good fit. Call Michael at 503-379-0065, located on Keck Drive next to Albertsons. Snap Fitness.
I pushed the automate button.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that's really important to be able to do.
Am I back too? Oh, there I am. Yes, I am.
No.
I am.
We've always got you back. Yeah, so before the break, We were talking about the Master Gardener program here, part of the Oregon State University Extension Services. And we have a yearly symposium that we started last year.
We got a real screaming wingding going on.
Yeah, that's right. And it's a spring into gardening is the name of the symposium. Again, we're hoping that this will be a yearly event. This will be the second year of it.
This is stage 2. Last year was basic gardening, and we had really great speakers. We had about 100 people show up, not counting staff management, master gardener, volunteers, etc. This year is going to be like phase 2, and it's the really food production part of gardening.
Oh?
Yes, it's going to concentrate on small fruits and vegetables, or not small fruits, berries, grapes, and tomatoes. So it's the basic things that people garden for. The reason you plant a tree in the backyard is to get apples or peaches or whatever for your family.
Money. Up in the tree.
Well, you want to save money. My daughter-in-law is one of the most fantastic canners I've ever seen.
Ooh. Oh, well, that's awesome.
I'll get back to that.
Well, that's great. Maybe that's her calling right now.
Oh, yeah, telling me to shut up already?
Okay,
yeah,
we have a caller. You're listening to The Root of It.
Are you there, caller?
And
Good
are you
morning.
there, caller? Well, we have the line in use. This is always a
little
feat.
Yeah.
They are there.
Oh, wonderful. Are you there, caller?
We know you're there.
Don't go away.
No.
Can you hear me now?
Nope. We're going to. Well, tell me the story about your sister.
So occasionally, one of my Christmas presents is always really great canned peaches or pears or jams or jellies and stuff like that. And there's a lot of people that do feed their families out of the backyard. That was the whole point of that.
Right. And
they're getting pretty good at it over there. Very small garden plot produces a lot of stuff. And this is kind of what this whole symposium is going to be about. The small plot gardener, the small backyard fruit.
Blueberries.
Your Marionberries.
Delicious.
That whole lecture is going to be by Neil Bell.
Yes.
And Neil Bell is the director of the Community Horticulture for Marion and Port counties for OSU.
Do we have a caller on the line? No, we don't.
Oh, man. Call back.
Whammies. No whammies. No, they're still there. It shows that I'm looking at a screen that says we have a SIP VoIP MS.
A SIP VoIP? Are you there, caller?
No. Maybe they have their phone on mute.
Well, we'll keep working on that. In the meantime, there you are.
Now we have it.
Oh, God. I'm Ray. Who are you?
Hi, Ray.
I was going to say, hello, gentlemen. Of course, I want to use that term loosely, but I didn't want to be a comedian.
Well, you are.
Come on down and join us.
Yeah, well, there you go. My name's John. My wife and I listen to you guys all the time, and we just learn a lot. So I don't think we're not out here.
Oh, thank you, John.
You bet. A couple of really quick questions, but I always scratch my head on these. Thatching a yard that's really got a lot of dead grass. When's the best time to do that?
I would do it right now.
Yes.
Right now. Okay.
Yeah.
Just rip it up.
Yeah, just go ahead and thatch it. Doesn't hurt to aerate right now, based on the soil moisture content that we have, because we really haven't had any serious rain. I mean, it's not going to be ugly mud.
Right.
It's actually going to thatch and rake up pretty easily. So yeah, go ahead and do it, and then probably around the end of March, would you say, first part of April?
So why
overseed?
don't you go through the process of thatching real quick for the people that aren't familiar with what you're doing? Because with the thatch, when we talk about it, that's the part of the lawn that has the dead stuff that's really thick that the roots eventually aren't able to go through the plant.
It's only about the top inch were lawnmower clippings that didn't biodegrade over the winter. Moss, if you're really upset about moss, it's only in the top half an inch of the ground. You don't. It's not a major digging renovation thing.
All right.
And you can do it with just a rake. You can go ahead and rent a thatcher over at Botton's if you want to get mechanical about it.
Right.
And don't mind getting beat to death.
Right.
I'm
okay, well, that's time of year. I just wasn't sure, but that's great.
Yeah, it's really a weird time of year because your lawn is actually accessible, whereas in other years maybe it's not as accessible right now.
Yeah, we're not covered by snow or ice. Don't do it on a wait till the frost is off the grass in the morning. Mid-afternoon is fine to go ahead and do the project. You're not gonna hurt it at all, and you're gonna free it up and make it ready to absorb moisture when it does rain.
So good luck with that.
Yeah.
No, there you go. Okay, and then the other question, I appreciate that. And the other question is when is the latest you should even right now trim apple trees, some old apple trees?
Oh, there's a good one.
Well, we were talking about the pruning, weren't we?
Yeah, we were going to. We can talk about that real quick, like right now.
I'll just listen then. How's that?
All right, thanks. Well, thanks for giving us a call.
Thanks, John. We appreciate you calling.
Thanks.
Apple pruning. That's an excellent one. You want to do it before bud set, and so you can do it anytime between January, February, and the first part of March. It's not something that you have to do this afternoon.
Right.
But go out and look at your trees and see if you have any bud break going on. If you do, then you might want to pick up the process a little bit. If the limbs are still smooth and brown and you don't see any buds coming up, you got a few weeks to worry about it.
Mm-hmm. I feel like I'm seeing these big, not budding, but like on my current my current plants as I was trimming my blackberries, I'm actually seeing buds, swelling out.
Well, that's different than apples though,
Right.
because they produce fruit before apples do.
There you go.
So yeah, they should be doing that now.
Mm-hmm.
They should start being ready to start producing fruit by April.
Oh, there you go.
April, May. Whereas apples really, they've got a whole process to go through. First they got to bud, then they got to produce leaves, and then they got to get pollinated, and then they got to grow fruit. So it takes several months for apples to do what they need to do.
So in my mind right now, I have this apple tree that is in my front yard, and I have the old growth the new growth from last year, and I've got those big branches that are sticking up 3 feet, and I know that I'm supposed to whack those. So that's probably what we're talking about. How far down am I taking them? What am I doing there?
Okay. Anything. One of my old garden friends uses the rule of thumb: if it sticks up, whack it off.
Right.
So you're whacking off the water sucker limbs, the things that are not necessarily going to produce fruit, but they're going to sap energy from the tree producing fruit.
Yes.
You want older material left down to about quarter of an inch, and you want to remove anything that is fresh sprouting this year.
Okay.
So that your major production is on the established limbs. Now, if you have a young tree and you're wanting to develop a tree, you can leave some of those.
Right.
And because they'll be producing fruit next year.
Mm-hmm.
Or the year after even.
So these big tall branches that grew last year that are about 3 feet tall, I'm taking them down to...
Just take your little snipper and just go along one limb at a time, and just whack them all off.
Am I leaving any buds, any stems, anything?
No.
So scary.
No, just take them...
Where do my apples come from?
Apples come from the stuff that will start growing after you get those energy-sapping suckers off.
Okay.
Then the buds will be on the ends of all the neat trim. Your tree will look like a nice little umbrella.
Mm-mm.
And everything that's there, then that will produce the fruit and the buds and the flowers, and the bees will fly by and make happiness, and everything works.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it's a really scary thing. I did it for the first time last year, whacking everything off, and you're just left with this hideous-looking thing of a tree.
Yeah, it looks pretty scary. One thing, and this is specifically for John. over at the Extension office, we have a printout, or you can go to
extension.oregonstate.edu/Yamhill for all of the publications that Ray is about to mention.
Yep, go into publications at Extension
.oregonstate.edu/Yamhill
/Yamhill, and click on publications, and then in the little box, just type in apple pruning.
Right.
And you get this really great publication that shows you exactly how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
There's also another one publication there, and these are free.
If you've got internet access, you have access to them.
Yep. If you have internet access, you're golden. And it has to do with home orchards. And it tells you what to spray, when to spray, and why to spray it. And
I'm laughing because I've read that publication.
Oh, you've handed it out 100 times to people.
And yes, those are nice rules and it makes sense, but for some reason I am the lazy gardener.
Yeah, me too. That's why I don't have apple trees.
It's like, spray it, and then you won't have these black spots. Oh, well, that's great. I have black spots. I should have sprayed. Oh, we'll figure it out. We'll get the timing down.
But anyway, John, if you go to the Extension website, you can and it has really great pictures of what your tree should look like when you get done.
And really quick about the publications, because these aren't just notepad text files of instructions like a recipe. It's a really nice looking PDF file that has nice pictures and perfectly written instructions. It's really they're really great publications.
They're actually quite precise.
Right.
And they're published by the Oregon State Department of Agriculture, and
Right, research backed, all of that fun stuff.
Yep, all this stuff. But anyway.
So that was the trip into pruning, and a topic like that will be covered at the Spring Into Gardening Symposium that's going to be held on
Neil Bell.
By the date is, I can't read that part, March 8th.
March 8th from 8:30 a.m. till 4:30 p.m. These are the topics that are going to be covered quickly before we have to go to a break again.
And this is going to be at the McMinnville High School auditorium.
At the McMinnville High School. You can buy tickets at the aforementioned website or the Master Gardener website, which is yamhillmastergardener.org.
Right.
I think the PayPal is up and running, or
Right.
it should be by now.
Yeah, the best place to go is the extension.oregonstate.edu/Yamhill. I love saying it. I can say it 100 times now.
You're good.
Yeah.
Or just stop by and you can go ahead and leave your money.
That's right.
But they're going to cover blueberries by Bernadine Strict, who is Oregon State University instructor, pruning small fruit plants, strawberries and raspberries, my favorite grapes in the home garden. That one's by Vern Nelson, who writes the column in the Oregonian.
Right.
The Edible Gardener.
Right.
Great stuff. And Growing Tomato Workshop. There's going to be a tomato grafting workshop.
Oh, that's going to be so interesting.
Which is going to be really fun. How to triple your tomato production. It's amazing how it works. And then, of course, keeping your tools sharp.
Must keep your tools sharp.
Keep your tools sharp.
So that's the Spring Into Gardening. That's going to be happening Saturday, March 8th from 8:30 to 4:30 over at the McMinnville Auditorium. For tickets, go to extension.oregonstate.edu/Yamhill for more information. You know what? If you want more information, just get Ray at ray@totherootofit.com. We're going to jump into a break right now. If you have any questions, give us a call at 503-435-1260. Look at the web, KLYC.us. You're listening to The Root of It right here on 1260 AM.
AM 1260 KLYC, and To the Root of It, sponsored once again by Recology Northwest Greenlands. We're sitting here, in fact, we're standing in the yard right now talking to Nick Olheiser. Nick, tell us about what sets your yard apart from others if they're out looking for compost.
Wide range of products available to the public. We have anything from rock to bark to all kind of soil blends to straight compost. We offer services such as the concrete mixers. We also have a blow-in service where the truck will come out and blow the bark in or compost for you right there. And when we leave, it's like we were never there except the product's there.
Now they're right across here, just down from the fairgrounds, right across from the Shell station, right next door to WOW. So if you're bringing your old TV sets and so on and so forth in to get rid of them, old computers and such, we're just to the west of that.
Correct. We're located over here on Orchard Avenue, 2200 Orchard Avenue. When you pull in, you'll see the signs. You'll see the big green bunker tarps, keeping your soil dry and ready for you all winter.
What are your hours and phone number?
Hours are going to be 8 to 4, Monday through Friday. On Saturday, it's 9 to 4. Phone number is 503-434-1671.
All righty. Anything else you want to tell the folks?
We got a friendly staff here ready to answer and help you guys out with any kind of needs you have as far as landscaping and garden goes. Come on down, come say hi to us, and we'll help you out from there.
So if you're listening to tips that the guys are talking about on To the Root of It, and you need some composting, maybe you just need a little bit, maybe you need a lot, come on down and check them out. Again, the address?
2200 Northeast Orchard Avenue.
And the phone number?
503-434-1671.
Nick Olheiser talking to us. We're here at Recology Northwest Greenlands, and they bring To the Root of It back on KLYC AM 1260. Now back to the show.
Whether it is your rustic cabin at the end of the road or your home with a $1 million view, Rent-A-Center in McMinnville has a price match guarantee on new furniture, appliances, home entertainment centers, TVs, and stereo systems. Your wish list can become reality, and your purchase is as simple with 3 easy ways to buy. You can buy it now with cash, you can buy it on 90 days, same as cash, or you can choose the easy payment options whereby you are already pre-approved and there are no credit checks. Rent-A-Center at 1370 Northeast Baker Street next to the Dollar Tree in McMinnville. It's easy for you to own. Enjoy Rent-A-Center.
Golden Valley Restaurant and Brewery is celebrating 20 years of serving you the best times and locally produced food in Yamhill County. Golden Valley Restaurant and Brew Pub at 980 Northeast 4th Street in McMinnville is local. Locally brewed refreshment, fresh local produce, steak specials every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Golden Valley Restaurant and Brew Pub opens daily at 11, open till 9 p.m. Sunday, and most weekdays open till 10 Friday and Saturday. And they say go McMinnville and Newburgh High School.
Get a little extra timing with the green onions there.
I love watching you find the buttons. That's just fabulous.
Right.
Bless your heart.
Yep.
I
got
so
it all.
appreciate you running that thing.
Yeah, you get it anytime you want.
No.
So let's get into this this February calendar that we
what
have.
to do.
And you can get a copy of the February calendar if you go to what website, Ray? Can you now say it off the top of your head?
Okay, OSU extension.
No, here.
Nope.
Not even right. You start with extension.
Oregonstate.edu/Yamhill.
You got it.
Okay.
That's it right there. So if you go there,
Extension.OregonState.
every month of the year is covered. Every month of the year, if you need a calendar, you want to know what to do in your garden, they've already got it laid out. Again, scientifically researched. They know what you're supposed to do this time of year. So, this being the 1st of February, we are looking at, let's start with the maintenance and cleanup, because you were keeping your tools sharp.
Yes, I did do that. I actually took my little Dremel tool and touched up edges and rinsed them off with a little...
Does that involve sparks when you got that Dremel?
A little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah. I've never done that.
Oh.
Is there a little sander attachment? Is that what you got there?
It's a little round emery attachment.
Oh, it's a stone.
It's a little stone. Yeah,
that's
and,
what that's for.
And there's other little stones that are beveled if you want to put an edge on and that kind of stuff. Yeah, I got it for Christmas. I don't use it very often because I try not to cut rocks with my tools.
I got my Dremel, and it came with about 64 attachments that I had no idea what they were for. Right? So that's one of them. Like, why would you need a rock on the end of something spinning? But duh.
I'll come out and tutor you one of these days.
Thanks, I would appreciate that.
Because it works so quickly and so easily that once you get used to using it, you wonder, But there again, you don't have to do it every day, and unless you're really a clumsy person,
right?
Now like shovels and stuff like that, I go ahead and touch them up about once a month if I'm using them regularly.
Shovels, interesting fact that I learned at last year's Springs into Garden Symposium, is that they're not shipped sharpened.
When you buy them, they're dull.
They are dull, and so it is up to you, the consumer, the buyer, the user of the shovel, to sharpen it before you actually use that. You know how many people do that, though? Nobody. Nobody, unless you're a professional landscaper. But the average person, you assume that you buy a sharpened shovel.
Well, yeah, or you think that as it comes, it's as sharp as it needs to be.
Right, exactly.
But really, sharp shovels dig easily.
Yes.
Dig much more easily.
Oh, so it's hot butter is what it is. It's incredible.
It takes a lot of the work out of it to actually.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you're just,
So when you buy that new shovel, you've got to buy a file of some sharpening stone of some kind to get it. But once you do, and the reason being because apparently they don't want to send around cases of sharpened shovels because they have a habit of falling on people, or when people pick up the shovels not knowing that they're that sharp, they cut their hands.
Pick it up, drop it on their toe, whack, there it is, lawsuit.
Right. Yep, exactly. So so keep your tools sharp, keep your shovel sharp, and make sure when you buy them to sharpen your shovel.
You can actually, make friends with your next door neighbor if he has a nice little emery stone on his workshop bench. A lot of people have those. They don't really use them, but they're cute.
Right.
So you mount one on your
Nice.
on your tool bench.
Right.
And then you stack it, buckets on top of it.
Yeah, screws and all of that stuff.
Yeah, and then about once a year go, oh, that's what that is. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're digging out the box of Christmas lights underneath and you bang your head on the side of the emery stone.
Yep.
Yeah, that's an ugly time of the year.
Yep. One of the things that you can do for maintenance and cleanup also is to make a cold frame or hot bed to start early vegetables.
Yep, now's a good time to go get some lumber and go over and get some potting soil or planting soil, whatever your choice is over at Recology. You only need a couple of yards to have a very productive garden.
Building a frame is not that hard. It really does involve digging 2 or 4 posts and slabbing some boards on those. That's it.
Not even. You can take like some pipe, like a 2-foot chunk of pipe, drive that down in the ground, and then you take some 1/2-inch white plastic pipe, just PVC pipe, put it over the top, stick one end in each pipe, and you got a hoop.
There you.
That's it. You don't have to screw or bolt nothing.
Ray, you just blew my mind with that. You take a bigger piece of pipe.
Yeah.
And then you take the thing that you're using to make the hoop and you stick that in as an
and
anchor.
that's it. You're done for summer.
Wow.
You're done for spring. And then everybody's got a cheap piece of plastic laying in the garage or folded up or stuffed underneath
12 yards of it in some shape or form.
Yeah, stuffed underneath the emery stone with the Christmas lights.
Exactly.
And then you string that across the top, and then it's even better than that. You take a couple of 1x4s, or maybe a 2x4, and you just staple that to the bottom of the plastic. It holds it down.
Holds it down.
Then, when it comes time, your plants are up and growing. If you have plants that need pollinators, you just roll the plastic up and put it on the top of the hoop.
Yeah.
That's it.
This is good, Ray. Thanks.
And if you don't need pollinators for things like carrots and onions and kales and spinaches and lettuces and all those things that really don't need pollinators anyway, you just leave it down and you got this perfect little greenhouse that just goes and goes and goes, and in 6 weeks, 8 weeks, you can be eating radishes and carrots.
Yeah, I think that also speaks into the planning part of the calendar that we have there, because there are a few things that you need to do. Also, it's a good time to have your soil tested.
Yep.
And for more information, you can contact the extension office. You just bring in a little piece of soil. We talk about that all the time.
Yeah.
You get that tested. We'll tell you what the pH is.
Teaspoonful of soil is all we need to play with.
Yep. And now's a good time to plan to add herbaceous perennial flowers to your flowering landscape this spring. So it's the planning. It's not necessarily the planting of them. But
No. You go out and you look and see where you got space for something to grow.
There you go.
And then you kind of think about what type of plant you actually want to put in there. Is it shady? Is it part shade? Is it sunny? Do you want to put another rose in and deal with that all summer long?
Time to thumb through the catalogs.
You know, it's time to I got my territorial catalog right there by my lazy boy.
Right, exactly. Always on
When
hand.
I'm done with a crossword, I can look at my territorial.
Right. So maintenance, tune up the lawnmower.
That's a good thing.
I'm going to have to tune up my lawnmower here soon because the grass, again, it's unseasonably dry, and the grass, though, is still growing. And it's looking scruffy. You know, it's looking like it hasn't been shaven in a while.
A
couple of days.
I pulled the pressure washer out to loan it to a friend, and we gave it about 5-6 pulls. Nothing.
No.
Absolutely nothing. And he says, maybe you need a new spark plug. And I said, maybe I need some starting fluid. So I went and got the starting fluid, and I squirted it. Boom.
Oh, there it is.
Runs just fine.
Wow.
So, unfortunately, or fortunately, the pressure washer runs just fine.
Oh, good.
But I don't mow anymore. But that was one thing that used to be a kind of a spring ritual, the cursing and the swearing in the garage, and, you know, that whole thing. And then, because I had seen my dad pull the spark plug out and cook the end of it with a match.
Oh, okay.
And I never knew what that was for. And what he was doing was he was preheating the spark plug.
Oh, preheating. I thought he was like burning off excess filth and
you know, just
gunk.
you know, he'd taken take his little point file and do that, all that kind of stuff. But once I discovered starting fluid, it was like a miracle.
Pyromaniac there. Once I discovered
it's like a miracle cure for me.
Right.
You know, I don't recommend it to anybody because apparently it
gets dangerous.
Well, it's kind of hard on motors to, you know, because they're.
Well, you're not doing it every time. You're right?
No. You got to pull them over, you know, dead start them a couple of times just to get oil up and get oil in the cylinders and stuff like that, so that when you do hit it with a starting fluid, it's not just bare metal on metal in the piston. That's tough on lawnmowers.
Yeah. And as I look at this this list of maintenance and cleanup on the February calendar, looking at prune.
Yeah,
so
there's 5 of them in a row.
So you prune and train the grapes, did that.
Yeah.
Prune fruit trees and blueberries, doing that today.
Yeah, doing that today.
Prune and train summer-bearing and fall-bearing raspberries, also doing that today. Prune deciduous summer-blooming shrubs and trees.
Yep.
Might get to that this week. Prune and train trailing blackberries. Now that's the big one. Those guys on my property have they're long. It's like these octopi of 9-foot long trailing blackberries in my garden. So that's why I decided that I have to attack it. Otherwise, it's going to get really out of control. So prune and train the blackberries. The trailing blackberries, because there are 3 different kind of blackberries that we'll discuss next week.
Yeah, that's for next week's thing, though.
And then
it is important, though, to make sure that when you're pruning, make sure that you're not pruning off the production sites for this year.
Right.
Because with most food-producing crops, that produce a crop once a year, you have a time of the year to prune that.
Right.
And if you prune it too late, once it has started to bloom, then yes, you've pruned off this year's crop.
Yeah, which is bad.
You're screwed.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it. Nothing this year.
So then the other thing is to prune back raspberries, which I will be also doing. Oh, there's 2 more prunes here.
Yeah.
So prune fall-bearing raspberries. That seems to go with the raspberries. Prune clematis, Virginia creeper, and other vining ornamentals.
You know the one it didn't mention?
What's that?
Roses.
Ooh, roses. That's
Yeah.
another thing that I need to attack also.
We
on
may
the side of my
discuss that
house.
next week too.
Yeah, roses and blackberries.
Yeah, let's put the roses with the blackberries next week.
Yeah, so we'll talk about those because we're getting to the point where
Yeah,
you whacked them.
Yeah, it's
Because I can see buds coming off of my roses. So
the ones the deer haven't eaten.
I don't know. Somebody did me a favor and annihilated the deer that were around my properties or
Oh,
for something
bless their
because
hearts.
I have not a sign of them in a year. So good
well,
for them.
Our herd of does in our neighborhood are the biggest bunch of fertile myrtles you ever did see. It is now a herd of about 12, and I haven't seen the buck since last summer. So
Nice.
he's been laying out in the bushes resting.
So one of the planting and propagation things that we can do from this calendar also is plant the windowsill container gardens of carrots, lettuce, parsley. Carrots? Are you planting carrots in your windowsill?
No, I'm going to plant them in Alan's hoop garden.
Where it just might be warmer than my windowsill.
No, Alan's got these beautiful hoop gardens.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
See, now he's calling. Don't tell everybody I got my hoop garden.
Stay away from my hoop garden, boy.
Exactly. So we pick up the call there. We go ahead and we jump over to here. Wow. Wait,
We're going to get good at this
no,
eventually.
you're supposed to be able to talk while I do this.
Oh, okay.
So Alan's hoop garden.
Anyway, Alan's hoop garden has been producing leaf crops all winter long. They've been eating some of the most beautiful fresh leaf crops, spinach, all that kind of stuff all winter long.
Mm-hmm.
It's just amazing.
So we've got the caller on the air right now.
Good morning, caller. We can almost hear you.
Well, that's
There we go.
good.
That's good
It
enough.
worked.
I wasn't talking, but okay. Good morning. I was calling to see if you would please slowly repeat the website that we can go to find out the planting schedule for the different months and so forth in this area.
Yes, we can. We most certainly will. Do you have your piece of paper and pencil handy?
I have.
Great. I'm going to try it this time.
Right.
Extension dot Oregon State, all one word, dot edu forward slash edu forward slash Yamhill, and it gets really specific to the Yamhill County area. And then you can
Okay,
go ahead.
Yeah, read it back.
let me try and read that back to you. Okay, it's extension EX. Is this case sensitive?
No.
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 Okay, it's ext.oregonstate.edu/Yamhill.
You have everything right except for the beginning part is actually extension, the full word.
Yeah, spell everything out.
Oh, the whole word.
Yeah, extension
Okay.
EXTENSION,
And everything else is correct.
and everything else is perfect.
All
And
right, I thank you very much.
and if you put it in the excuse me, if you put it in the Google section, it will make up for some of your mistakes. I have learned
I need
that.
that.
Awesome.
I need that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything that's fail-proof, I can manage to mess up.
Oh,
Okay.
absolutely.
Perfect. And thanks for giving us a call and a reason to
Thank
draw
you.
that out. Thanks.
Yeah.
All right, thank you very much.
You're very welcome, sir. Yeah, there's such a wealth of information there, and it's all research-based. It's where we learn from.
Right, and the calendar, again, every month. And if you ever have a problem, honestly, if you ever have a problem, just go to your search engine, whether it's Google or Yahoo. I feel like I'm switching to Yahoo now. But they're all the same.
Yeah.
It's just who do you want tracking your personal data?
They all go through an NSA satellite somewhere. Come on.
Exactly. But yeah, if you ever have any problems, you just extension Yamhill County in your search engine, and that'll the first thing that pops up is us.
Yeah.
So that was a really great reason to spell out the website, because it is a great local resource for information and everything that not just what to do in your garden, but also what to what to eat, what to plant to eat, and recipes, and the weekly Master Gardener newsletter, or monthly.
Monthly.
Could you imagine if I had to do that every week?
Not without jumping off the porch.
That is what I have to do this weekend, though, put together the newsletter. Wow.
Now, the beauty of that, though, is if you use the extension oregonstate.edu/any county in Oregon.
Oh, yeah.
If they have an extension service, it has the specific information for your county, whether you're Lane County, Marion County, Deschutes County. It's there.
Right.
And for those of you who are outside the state of Oregon, if you find out who your land grant university is, like my cousin uses Oregon or University of California, Fullerton.
Oh.
That's the land grant university. That's where the extension is based out of.
I see. I didn't know that.
Yes.
Washington University is Washington University?
Washington State.
Washington State.
If it has state at the end, it generally
has to be a
is.
state, right?
Yeah, like Minnesota State.
There you go.
So anyway, that's about it for this weekend. And next weekend we're going to do Rose.
I'm going to take it from here, Ray.
Thank you.
You're coming up at 10 o'clock right now here in Yamhill County. This is KLYC. You've been listening to The Root of It. We'll be back next week. We will be discussing topics such as blackberries, raspberries, roses, and the weather. See how everybody has dealt with any of these freezing temperatures that are being predicted.
Yeah. Go sharpen your tools. Keep your tools sharp.
That's right. You're listening to KLYC 1260 AM.
To me, exercise is like climbing a flight of stairs. It is one step at a time. Women of Yamhill County, it is not a question of can you, but will you. Come exercise with me at Cindy's Gym, which is located on the corner of 11th and Adams in McMinnville.
We play your music. KLYC, McMinnville, Yamhill. AM 1260 KLYC, talking to Greg Arnone. McMinnville Hearing Center is now in a new location that's 3 times larger than the old location, 325 Northeast Baker Creek Road. Greg, what does the new location allow you to do?
The new location allows us to better serve our patients. We have more areas for treating for hearing loss. We have a larger parking lot for convenience for our patients to come into. And just overall, we're able to streamline our service and do a better job for our patients.
What specials do you have running this week? What can people come down for a special get to know Greg and get to know McMinnville Hearing Center better?
Well, come on down. Come on in with a bunch of questions that you have about your hearing or for somebody else. Answer any questions, check your ears for earwax, and just try to educate you to make sure that you know the importance of your hearing and quality of life.
McMinnville Hearing Center, new location, 325 Northeast Baker Creek Road, right across from the First Federal on Baker Creek.